is finally time to get this old red truck out of our shop. We have pulled every single part we could off of it for our LS swap, and I don't think there's anything else left worth using. So we're gonna get this thing loaded up and sent to the scrapyard. So you couldn't see a lot last night, it was really dark, but this is the DATSUN metal, just a bunch of stuff we cut off. The rear end is back here, a bunch of truck parts. So long, old friend. You were good to us. This is your new home now. All right, so we made $78 from all of that scrap, which is not great, especially considering we have a flat tire. We are ready to mount the DATSUN engine, but before we do that, we've got to strip this thing all the way down to the frame. We got these universal engine mounts off of Amazon, and we're fitting them to the engine to try to figure out how in the world we are going to mount this big V8 in our new frame. I let Chase figure out the mount situation while I worked on the back of the frame, just cleaning off all the wiring and old brackets so that we have a clean slate to work with as we design our new truck. We've decided to weld in a new support, basically bringing our frame inwards. We made a frame that is too wide for this engine, so we've pulled it in just a little bit. We will come back and support this from the bottom so that we have a little bit more structure underneath. But for now, this is how our engine is going to be mounted. Next, we need to check the height of our transmission. We wanted to make sure that our drive shaft did not hit this transmission cross member when it was laid all the way out. It did, so we pulled one of our shims out and that got us in the perfect spot. Now, this was always a budget build, but thanks to the hacking of the channel and lack of ad revenue for this next month, this just became an extreme budget build. So we are reusing almost everything. We're gonna start by making a cardboard template of our mounts. It's not the most sophisticated way to do this, but it does work. Once we've got that template, we can take some measurements from the bolt to our new frame crossmember thing and transfer them to the cardboard template. Now we'll test fit the template and make sure that it fits, and then do any final adjustment trimming that we may need to do. Next, we're gonna take that template and copy it onto our metal piece. And then cut out our notch for the new frame. One more test fit and that worked really well. So we're going to transfer that process to the other three mounts. Like I said, it's simple, but it just works. Fitment on these brackets was really good, and that means they're easy to weld and they'll be super strong whenever everything's welded up.
Like this.
Hey! Dude!
Yes, we are.
I don't know why this is so surprising to me, but I'm like very pleased by this. The wood is gone.
The wood is gone.
This is mounted with metal now.
This is mounted.
Wow! What a thing we did!
Yeah.
Cool!
Now
I'm excited.
Yeah. That's just not something I expected.
What? It to be fairly centered?
Look at that. It's the engine. That's the way it's built. But
Whoa!
I didn't know that.
I guess for steering maybe or
I
something?
have no idea.
That's weird. What we're talking about, the valve covers are staggered on these engines. So this one is pushed way back here. This one's pushed way up. All right, so we're gonna reuse these exhaust manifolds. They have these heat shields on them that we're not gonna need anymore for our application. I'll explain why later. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those, and then we've got to block off this port right here for the EGR as well. I'm gonna spray these with some paint just to make them look a little bit nicer, if you wanna call it that. I think we're probably gonna end up heat wrapping these, but we'll just have to see how it goes later on down the road. We're gonna give the manifolds a break for a second. I've gotta go run and get some high temp paint. All I've got is regular and I don't want it to burn off, so I'll go get some of that in just a minute. Before we do that, I'm gonna take our new steering rack and put it underneath the truck and just see what we're dealing with. Now, we did pull the steering rack off of the GMC, and our plan is to give this little truck power steering. It's all hooked up on the motor, and our new width is very similar to the width of the GMC, so we're hoping it'll just bolt right up and we can create some mounts and just run it the way it is. But we made this very crude setup to connect our wheels so they turn at the same time. That's where when we moved the truck around, we were having to change the direction of like both wheels at the same time, so I wanted to point out. It just wasn't working. So I'm gonna pull this out, and then we'll see about trying to maybe throw this thing in or at least measure where our mounts need to be for this to work on the new truck. Oh, yeah, dude. So all of this is going to get changed out. Obviously, we're going to get new tie rod ends with the castle nut and all that. I just wanted to see if this was going to work, and it looks like it is going to work beautifully. Now, I think the only thing left to do is kind of center this and get it mounted this way, front to back, and then we'll be good. But this is definitely going to be a two-person job, so I'm going to leave this here. Chase is out of town right now, so I'm going to leave it right here, and we'll work on that. We'll jump on that next week. So this is our new harness. We had this made custom for our truck, and it deletes a lot of stuff that we didn't need for our truck for application. It also is shortened a good bit for our application because we don't need that much wiring. And it just simplifies everything a little bit. Now, according to Bad Daddy Braddy, these things are pretty easy to do and hard to mess up. I've never done this before, so I'm going to put that to the test. We've got a lot of loose wires on this end. That goes to things like gauges and other stuff that we've got to plug in, aftermarket stuff. Sweating like crazy. It's so hot. Anyway, these go to like gauges and stuff, just aftermarket stuff we're going to be plugging in. All these plugs are GM specific plugs, and they're supposed to be wired in a way that it all lines up and is very easy to understand. Let's find out. Alright, so I think that is where we're going to stop tonight. I've got a few plugs that I don't really know where they go. I think they might go underneath the engine or around or whatever. And I'm not sure that I've got this thing oriented right, so... I also have some plugs that I think I'm missing. They're the plugs that go into this thing. This is the neutral and reverse safety cutout thingamabob. I think that's the technical term. And I don't have any plugs on that for my harness, so I've got to get in touch with my harness guy and see if I'm missing them or if it's a separate harness or what. We'll get that figured out. Overall, this thing is looking really good. We've got it mounted. It's sitting on its own weight, and it's there, which is amazing to me. It's really insane. We use these mounts from Amazon. I'm going to link them in the description below. if I have a YouTube channel now. They're 70 bucks and they were really easy. It will also help build. We're gonna lift this up and then go and weld all the way around our mounts and get these things mounted. We're also gonna support this little bar that we built from the bottom so that there's more vertical stability and we don't have to worry about it like, you know, snapping off. We got a transmission mount, which is insane. It was like $7. I love American trucks, like they're so cheap here. This is our fuel tank. It is out of the GMC. It's plastic and it's ugly, but we're gonna cover that up. It's like 20 something gallons. This truck is gonna run forever. I know I said I was gonna mount the exhaust earlier. It's sitting right there, but I don't have the bolts for that. So I've gotta order some bolts or go get them from AutoZone probably and get those bolted up. We'll do that in the next video as well. The next video, we are shooting for getting this thing running. If the channel gets back before then, for you guys that don't know, we got hacked. We will get this thing running for sure. The whole channel hacking thing, not having my channel for 2 weeks, trying to get in touch with as many of you guys as possible has taken up an absurd amount of time, along with all the emails that I've been sending to YouTube and conversing with the other 4 channels that got hacked as well. Now, people have been fighting for us, so I'm gonna link some videos below this if I can. If this is YouTube, gosh, I don't even know if I'm posting on YouTube or Instagram. If this isn't on YouTube, it's on Instagram, I want you guys to go do something for me. 3 people made videos for us to help us get in touch with YouTube, which was incredible. We got videos from Life of Palos. I already told you guys about him. He made like 3 or 4 videos on this subject, really getting the attention out there for our channels. Then Stradman made a video for us just talking about how horrible it was that we lost our channels, and he got in touch with one of his guys at Google, got some information from us, and sent it to him, so hopefully that will work out. And then Revmatchtv also made a video just bringing awareness to what happened to us a few weeks ago. So it is incredible to have the automotive community behind us. It is so cool to be a part of this community. I want to thank every single one of those guys for just getting the word out there, for putting that on their channels, for creating content in order to help us get our channels back. You guys are awesome. Hopefully, we will have a channel soon. Maybe we have a channel now, if this is on the YouTube channel. If not, hopefully we're going to have one soon. I'm still hopeful. I'm still believing that YouTube is going to do something. If you're watching this, you're still watching this video, it means you're a true fan. So do me a favor. Go to YouTube's Instagram. Post about these 5 channels. It's me, Max Tech Vids, Troy Sowers, Pure Function, and Black Widow Supra. Go get on one of YouTube's platforms right now and tell them to get our channels back. They have the ability. The channels are not gone. They can do it, but they have to do it quick. So help us out and go do that. You guys are awesome. You are the best community on the internet. We'll see you soon.